I'm totally opposed to going into war with Syria, even though some of the so-called conservatives are in favor of men dying, American men dying. For example, and I really don't want to do it, but I have to do this. Sean Hannity, who's known to be one of the, let us say, most shallow men in the American media, who gives conservatism its reputation as being shallow, back in 2012 called for war in Syria. Listen to clip 11.
The first question that comes to my mind, where did these stockpiles come from, A? And I had often said publicly that I wondered in the lead up to the Iraq war if whether or not Saddam Hussein could have moved chemical weapons, biological weapons to Syria. I keep talking about the rise of radical Islamists around the world, in the Middle East, in North Africa. And it reminds me somewhat of the 1930s. You couple, radical ideology with weapons of mass destruction, and you've got a prescription for a disaster.
Well, Sean, you had a prescription for getting it wrong, and you got it wrong. You mixed up the wrong prescription there, and you can poison people with it. You're like a bad pharmacist, and if anyone takes your pill, they're liable to get poisoned rather than cured. Because what you're doing there is putting out so many ideas that are fraudulent that it gives true conservatives a bad name. And now we have another false conservative out there, again trying to get us into a war with Syria. That's none other than Lindsey Graham, who wants to flood America with 30 million illegal aliens, primarily from Mexico and Central America, and send our troops not to the border with Mexico, which is where they're sorely needed, but instead send them to Syria, where they're not needed at all because they don't belong there. Listen now to clip number 10 from Lindsey Graham.
As to arming the rebels, there are more radical Islamic fighters there than they were last year, and if it goes on 6 months more, there are going to be more. Let's give the right weapons to the right people. There's two wars to fight. One, to get Assad out of there. He's really a bad guy, dangerous to the world. The second war, unfortunately, is going to be between the majority of Syrians and the radical Islamists who've poured into Syria.
What is he talking about? Which side is he on? Do you understand that what Lindsey Graham just said makes no sense whatsoever? He's saying, let's get Assad out of there, a really bad guy. That's really brilliant statesmanship, Lindsey. It's up to your level, and apparently your voters are at your level. In between eating at Porky Pie's drive-in, they listen to your rubbish. He's a really bad guy. Let's kill him. He's a really bad guy. Let's kill him. And then what? Then we're going to go to war who? Between the majority of Syrians and the radical Islamists? Well, where are they? Which side are they on? Are they with Assad? Are they against Assad? Are they with the rebels you want to send weapons to? You made no sense. So this tells me that Lindsey Graham is simply a gun for hire, like most senators are. It's sad, but true, and you all know it. What a senator has become, if it's been any different in the past, I couldn't tell you, is a super lobbyist. Lobbyists put money in their pocket. The more money you put in their pocket, the more influence you have. This is the way the system works. And so, obviously, those who want American boys to die in Syria reached Lindsey Graham. Just as La Raza reached Lindsey Graham, so too do the enemies of our survival have reached Lindsey Graham. This is why Lindsey Graham should be voted out of office. Anybody would be better than him. Nevertheless, the issue is not him. He's just one of many. He's part of the gang of 8. But now, in addition to wanting to flood America with illegal aliens, as I said, he wants to flood American troops into Syria or bomb Syria. God knows what he wants.